Hey everyone, my name is Gretchen. Welcome back if you're back. Still trying to get all this stuff lined out, so you just be patient with me. I don't really know what I'm doing, so just hang in there. I will learn as I go. I want to talk today a little bit on this video about manifestation. Some information there. Not much, but enough to... I think there's a piece of information in here that might help you. I want to do a little bit on cause and effect, and what I call my daily scale or karmic scale that I give to everybody that I teach. So let's begin with some of this information. There is one rule of manifestation, that in order to manifest, and everybody knows this rule, or at least I think they do, is you cannot manifest what you cannot picture yourself having. I actually, however, believe there are two rules. But right now I'm just going to focus on the number one rule that everybody says exists. Remember, you cannot manifest anything you cannot grasp, that you cannot see yourself with or feel yourself with. If you can't do that, you can't manifest it. Simply put, the reason you can't manifest money or health or that new car is because you can't see yourself with it. Feel yourself with it. Comprehend yourself achieving it. This means there's something creating a block in your mind that prevents this from happening. Now, how can we heal this? We have to find the restriction in your energy field that's connected to either your emotions or your beliefs. Maybe it's both. Well, it has to be both. So these blockages are fueled by your feelings about whatever it is you want to manifest. I will give you a little example on this later, maybe a few of them throughout the videos. Keep in mind, we live in a world of cause and effect, and we are conditioned by this. If you find the restriction or cause for your inability to manifest, and you change the cause, then you can manifest what you want. But there is another catch here. You also need to let go. The inability to manifest is connected to cause and effect, or cause is that part of it. If you can't manifest money, maybe it's the belief you took in. Maybe, for example, let's use the old saying, money is the root of all evil. You actually kind of believe this. So this saying creates a stress in your energy field, and I call it a stressor, and please remember that word because I will use it later in another video. And this stressor will interfere with what you want to achieve. But keep in mind, out of chaos can come order. So once you find the reason for the restriction, for why you can't manifest, you can take that chaos and refine it or replace it with another solution, and then you can manifest what you want. Keep in mind, the restriction prevents manifestation. When you find the restriction, like this is saying, it means you need to change the emotion connected to the belief. Then you can change the outcome. But as I said, there's more to this. It deals with letting go too, which is another aspect of why we can't manifest what we want. You need to release the outcome. Let loose of the control to the thoughts that are connected to it or how you feel about whatever you're trying to achieve, and you'll receive what you're asking for. Example, let's say you ask for a lot of money and you see yourself winning the lottery. I see myself winning the lottery too, but that has never happened. But maybe the universe doesn't want you to receive the money this way because it is reserved for someone else. But you hang on to this, and you want to control this. You want to tell the universe how you want it to manifest. And then your request doesn't get answered because of your interference. If, however, you let go of how you are wanting to receive this allows for a wide range of possibilities for the universe to choose from to manifest your desire. Now that's a lot to think about. I will end that there. But let's start with cause. How can we change the cause? Look at what is in your emotional thoughts that have caused this restriction. Maybe it was an event, or a saying, or an action of some sort that created the block. It is an emotional restraint of some kind that you created. So this emotional bond, coupled with thoughts, has to be evaluated. And in order for you to manifest it, for now, You need to find the issue and change the concept, again with emotion. And then you'll be able to alter the structure of the cause. Now, sometimes an action from someone else can cause a block for other people, or maybe for themselves, and it does affect the person with you. But there was a time, I know a couple that had money, that actually achieved money at one time, and they were a partner, and one of the partners actually belittled someone for not having money, and the other one had an emotional response to that degradation. Please treat everybody equally. And this actually affected the relationship. It affected the money flow. And I know that for a fact. So I want you to keep in mind that what happens to you can affect those around you too. But anyway, I will go more in depth on this later in later videos. So let's go back to this saying. Maybe if you say it differently, you know the one, the root of all evil is money. Maybe if you said it where the root of all evil is caused by the lack of money, then that eventually will change all of that for you. But you have to put an emotion there, big enough to override the one that you had with the first one. Or heal or override that one first, and then work on this one. Anyway, each person is different. What works for one will not work for another. So, you know, this is kind of like, you know, where are you at with this? And then you can go from there. Sometimes it's harder for some, sometimes it's easier. But that's an easy example. Some of these blocks are not that easy and will require creative solutions to overcome them. Keep in mind, we live in a world of cause and effect. For every action, there is an equal or opposite reaction. I'm sure you've heard this. So the causal world is one that is responsible for the effect, for creating everything in your life. This is actually called karma. Karma is connected to cause and effect. But there is more to karma than this. If you have an understanding of karma, which will come in a later video, I'll explain this. Keep in mind, you never want to learn through karma. That is the harshest way to learn anything. And I know, I learned through karma and I couldn't stop it. Sometimes you can avoid it, but in this case, you couldn't stop it. It had to be healed because other people were involved. Not that you needed the healing, but they needed the healing. Or they needed the lesson, whatever. That you went along for the ride because you couldn't stop what was happening. But anyway, keep in mind that everything is connected to understanding. Why we can't manifest is related to and requires the knowledge and comprehension of karma, cause and effect, and more. But that comes later. When you begin to understand and apply these concepts and information in your life, then a lot of what is happening to you that is negative will slow down or cease to exist. And from there, you can manifest the positive. Remember, what affects one will affect us all. You'll hear me say that a lot. What we do will affect us physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And that, too, will come in a later video. Like I said, I got to do these in little sections. And sometimes for the rest of your life, you will be affected. Unless you find someone who can help you, or unless you get the information you need. So remember that cause is tied to karma and to our birth contracts. This contract holds us to experiencing in this life. It is what we agreed to experience while in this lifetime. We can learn, however, without experiencing. We just need to know the information to understand how. There are a few things you can do to alleviate the effects of karma. And one that I introduced in the class is a daily scale that I've used since I was a kid. I give it to everybody who enters my class, and it has helped people along their journey. It's called, well, originally it was called a daily scale. I used it daily. Then it evolved into a karmic scale, a mind your own business scale, a stop your rumor and gossiping scale. It has many names and many titles. But each scale has your name on it, and at the top is the title for every aspect of your life. For instance, like your job, your co-workers, your family, your children, your relationships. Remember, everything in your life becomes the title for your scale. This scale is invisible, and it is numbered from 0 to 10, with 0 being just that, 0. It means it has no importance in your life whatsoever. 10, however, being the most important in your life. So here's how you're going to use the scale, and I'll give you a few examples to help you to understand. If you have a child that is underage, does this child fall on your scale? Of course that child falls on your scale. It is probably a 10. It's your responsibility until they become of age to take care of that child. But you're there for guidance only until they are of age. So let's say the child is over the required age and considered an adult. Does that child fall on your scale? No, that child does not fall on your scale. Only when you are part of a decision that affects you or that child, or both. Otherwise, you're there to provide guidance. Too many parents today feel like they still control that child even when they are of age. These children have their own life's journey to fulfill and learn from, but if they ask for guidance, then give them some. But please allow them to learn what they came here to learn. If you stop them from learning their lessons, the lessons become harder and harder and harder for them. Teach them to learn their lessons and not prevent them from learning their lessons by picking them up when they fall. Have them suffer the consequences for their actions. Because if they don't, their lessons, like I said, get harder. I know someone who was picked up, who was kept from learning their lessons, and they were from well-meaning adults. They just didn't want the person to be hurt. But this person never took responsibility for his actions. And the story goes, the person ended up in prison because he never learned his lessons. That's what I mean by it getting harder and harder. Had this person learned their lessons early, maybe prison was not even an option. But because this person was never made to take responsibility for their actions, then this person ended up with prison. So keep that in mind as you're raising your children. Guide them and direct them, but let them fall and let them suffer the consequences of their actions. So let us look at relationships. Does your spouse, girl, or boyfriend fall on your scale? Yes, but only if the decision affects you. If it doesn't, then no. They do not fall on your scale. They have their own path to follow and lessons to learn. And they are only sharing the path with you at the moment. What about your job? Of course it falls on your scale. It's probably a 10 because you got to eat, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your car payment, you got to do all that stuff that we do. What about your co-workers? Do they fall on your scale? Sometimes. But no, they do not. Only when their decision or whatever they're doing at work affects you, then yes, they do fall on your scale. So this is where it got to the name Stop the Rumor and Gossiping, because the workplace is one of the places where there is a lot of rumor and gossiping and people talking behind everybody's back, and this is where it got, its name. It is none of your business. Quit doing that, because I'm going to do a section on this about how that can affect someone. And I will give a demonstration online if I have someone here eventually, to show you how rumor and gossiping can weaken a person. You really do affect them. But it started, this scale, I'm going to go back to the scale. It started as and still is just a daily scale. But you can call it a karmic scale if that helps you. And it prevents you from making as much karma as possible while you are here. Because energy goes back to its source all the time, and that is one great video that I'll be doing on that. So use this scale daily, hence daily scale. It has helped so many people lead a life of peace, making their lives happier and less stressful. I have husbands tell me, thank you, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done without you and these techniques that you teach in class. It has made their lives more peaceful and less stressful, and has given back their power. And that is a rare accomplishment. This will also help with cause and effect, this scale, so keep that in mind too. I'm going to end there. That gives you enough on how to use the scale. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help me and help the cause. Thank you. please share this. Blessings and light. Heal so we all can heal. And I shall see you soon. Everybody take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you.